Hi, I'm Shayla, and I'm going to talk about oils. And I want to talk about how oils can be incorporated into your everyday life, making it a more natural living and natural solutions to other alternatives that you may have used before. So, to start with, the doTERRA oils that I do use are the all natural doTERRA, which means that they are derived straight from the plant, and they address the specific need of that you would need to use them for. And you can use them for a plethora of things. You can use them for health concerns, you can use them for emotions, you can use them for aches and pains, and you can use them for a variety of other things that we can talk about. So, that being said, doTERRA is natural and it's effective and it's safe. And it, hi Mary Lee. And the great thing about doTERRA is that like it comes in this little bottle, and this is 250, it's 15 milliliters, and one drop of it can equal like 28 cups of that particular plant or that particular food that you would have used, what have you. So you can use the essential oils for three different things. You can use them to diffuse, you can use them to put them on your skin topically, or you can ingest them internally. Most of them. Some of them you cannot. So you have to be careful. So for example, aromatically, you can use your oils aromatically in a diffuser. You can use them to even just open up and smell as well. And that can, create other things that we'll get to within yourself. You can use them on your skin, whether it be with a fractionated coconut oil. Well, it's not doTERRA, but fractionated coconut oil, or even using like your lotion that you would use every day. I do that a lot with a lot of the oils. And then internally, you can cook with them. You can put them in your tea, just like I did tonight. Lemon in my tea, or lemon in your water. I'm big on tangerine right now in my water. I don't like orange juice a lot, but I will put a drop of tangerine in a glass of water and drink it at night, and it's amazing and delicious. So that about sums up the three different ways you can use the oils: topically, aromatically, and also internally, ingesting them. So I want to talk though first about there's these 10 like essential oils that people tend to gravitate more to or use more in their life. So I'll talk about those 10, and then maybe how I use them in my daily life, or every other day, or what have you. So first on the list is, of course, frankincense. Frankincense is an amazing oil for many different reasons. It helps with depression, it helps with sadness, it helps even like clear up some sores and things if you have them. I had a hangnail once and didn't have really any other oil that seemed to be helping it, and I finally just went to the Jesus oil, to frankincense, and put it on there, and within a couple hours the swelling had gone down, it didn't hurt anymore, and it healed pretty quickly. So that's frankincense. It supports cellular function. It also again promotes the feelings of relaxation, so that's why it helps with your depression or your sadness or things like that. Lemon is next on the list. Lemon is amazing oil to ingest. Again, like I said, I put it in my tea, and they say there's so many drops or so many lemon peel usage in one little drop. And the great thing that I like about the lemon, my story with the lemon now is my mom was very hesitant to use any of the oils or to put them in her water or put them in her drinks. And just the other day, she finally said, you know, I've been putting that lemon in my tea and it just tastes so much more different. And I said, that's right, because it's amazing. It really is a different flavor. It's a more fresh flavor. And it can be used also for cleaning. I put it in my cleaners that I use around the house, like what's on the wood floors. When I'm cleaning the bathrooms, I have it in my bathroom cleaner along with some other oils, but it creates that fresh smell. I will diffuse it also in the classroom mix it with other oils to create a positive mood. It's supposed to help with that, as well as lavender. Lavender is another one of those go-to that everybody's like, oh, I love lavender. I love lavender. Well, yes, our lavender, the doTERRA lavender, definitely has a more fresh smell. It has a very pure smell. My biggest thing with lavender and how I use it every day is I put it in my bath. Like I will drop like 4 or 5 drops in my bath, and I'm also getting it aromatically, but then I'm also like getting it on my skin and promoting those great calming things that lavender brings, the calming feelings that you get of tension and anxiousness. I even tried it once, putting it in my water before I went to bed, and I put just a drop in my glass of water, and it knocked me out. Like it was pretty strong, but it knocked me out, and I slept and better than I did with maybe like taking, what was it? What did you used to take? The medication that you take when you are trying to sleep. It's been so long since I've taken it. NyQuil, yes. NyQuil. It worked so much better than NyQuil. I never used to like NyQuil because it gives you that drowsy feeling. Didn't have that when I woke up in the morning. I just felt really rested and calm. Yes. Melaleuca is next on my list to talk about. Melaleuca is the tea tree oil. I used to use Melaleuca I used to use tea tree oil, the over-the-counter kind, for a lot of different things, like with my scalp or with dry skin patches. I would put it on there. The tea tree that I would get over the counter, and it always had kind of like a greasy feeling and things like that. Well, that's because those over the kind that you get at like Walgreens or even the Whole Food stores, they're adding other additives into that. They're adding other perfumes and things to give it a certain smell that they think people want to smell. So, but the Melaleuca that was for doTERRA is much different because it's, again, derived straight from that plant. And that's all that's in it. They don't add anything into it. So it's all natural. So I use that for diffusing when I'm sick. I will drop that into the diffuser to help relieve some congestion, relieve, some of those sick feelings. I will put it still on dry spots that I may have in my scalp, straight onto it. Like I just take it, turn it over, get a drop on my fingertip and just rub it in. And it's also good for seasonal threats, like seasonal allergies. I don't get them, but I hear that it's good for that. So yes, tea tree. Melaleuca is one of those good, amazing things to use. And side note, Melaleuca is also good for codependency. Didn't know that until just recently. You have some codependency tendencies like I do, then diffuse that, or even mix it with some other oils that you may have and put it on, and maybe that'll help. It should help. So next on my list is oregano, which I don't have for some reason. I thought that I had it and gotten it for one reason or another a long time ago, but the one that I have that is similar to, I think is similar to oregano, is cilantro, because obviously they're spices. Oregano, though, is good for cleaning and supporting your healthy immune system, healthy digestion, respiratory, things like that. But my big thing with like cilantro, since I just got it and I was super excited to get it because I wanted to explore a little bit more into the cooking side of the oils. And so I did try with the cilantro in some salsa, and it made it amazingly more fresh. It even had a little bit of the fresh cilantro in there, but adding just a drop or two made it so much more fresh and so much more amazing. Like, I love salsa. I could eat salsa every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so now this is definitely in my kitchen cabinet for when I'm cooking and making salsa and other things that you would put cilantro in. Peppermint is on my list. Peppermint is amazing for obvious reasons. Fresh breath, duh. Putting just a drop of the peppermint on your tongue or underneath your tongue can give you some fresh breath. It's also good for breathing when you got a cold. I will put it in my tea along with the lemon, and that will clear out some sinuses and clear out some head congestion quicker than I have ever experienced any type of medicine, over-the-counter medicine to do. I'm not a big fan of taking medicine, so if I do have to take medicine, or if I do end up taking medicine, it means that I am super, 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 super sick. But ever since I've started using these oils, I haven't bought any over-the-counter medication. And I was telling my mom that just the other day. I realized that I honestly have not bought Tylenol, Advil, none of that, none of the cold medicines, none of that for the last year and a half, because I've started using these oils. Peppermint's good for headaches. It's good to put on the back of the, rub on the back of the neck. It is super, super good for fevers. I use them with my children when they have a fever. They wake up in the middle of the night, they've got a fever. I'm like, oh crap, I can't miss work tomorrow. So you're going to get in the bathtub and we're going to put some peppermint in the bathtub. And that's exactly what we do. They get in the bathtub, again, a couple drops of the peppermint in their bath, and their fever's gone. And I didn't even use any medication. So they're fever free without medication and can go to school. It's kind of the sideways around to it. My daughter, even though, likes to, when she takes a bath and likes to pamper herself, she will ask for some peppermint just because it cleans out it opens up the capillaries and things in your lungs as well. So it's good for when you've got a runny nose, stuffy nose, coughing, congestion, things like that. Good to put a couple drops in your hand, rub your lotion, and then maybe rub it all over your chest and on your back and then on the back of your back where your lungs are, so that you can open those up and start to feel a little bit better. Which also kind of leads me into the doTERRA Breathe, which my bottle doesn't have the thing around it, but it has a sticker on it. The Breathe is where I believe my Nicole friend got me started or hooked on oils, was because I was at a marathon booth thing, and she came up to me asking me if I was a runner and asking if I needed help maybe clearing up my lungs while I run. And I kind of looked at her like she was a little crazy, but I said, yeah, maybe, I guess I have trouble breathing sometimes running. That she, sprayed some stuff in my hand, and she's like, here, smell that. I was like, oh yeah, that actually does kind of open things up a little bit. And it was probably a mixture of Breathe and peppermint and probably something else. I can't remember, but it opened up my lungs. It helped to, like, I don't know, free breathing, I guess is kind of what I would call it. And you can rub it on the back of your neck as well. The thing that I showed you is a vapor stick. So it's kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub. I don't know if you guys can see that. My light's in a weird way, in a weird position, but, so yeah, this is really good. The kids have almost worn this out. Like, we're gotten to a point where we have to like dig it out with our fingers, because they like to put this on when they're starting to get congested. They tend to have some seasonal allergies, so that helps them with that. The Deep Blue is on my list, because that, going from the breathing while I'm running to, hey, my knee kind of hurts, so while I'm running, Deep Blue is really big in restoring the cells that are damaged or that are painful within your joints and things. And it's the soothing blend for doTERRA. And I like to mix it with the Aroma Touch, which is the massage blend. And the Aroma Touch and the Deep Blue together make an amazing combination that has healed my runner's knee over the last year and a half that I've been using it while I've been running, because I run some half marathons and things. So, and my story with the Deep Blue and the Aroma Touches, I did run a half marathon once, then messed my knee up pretty bad because I kept running, even though my knee hurt. And I started to use the Deep Blue and the Aroma Touch before I would run, and then after I would run, and I would just put a few drops in my hand with the lotion and rub it all over my leg and my muscles, and it started to restore those cells back to now my knee doesn't hurt, and I was able to run 2 half marathons in a week without any pain whatsoever. So that's the Deep Blue and the Aroma Touch. The Digestin is next on my list, which is another one that you can take topically. And here it is. Digestin helps with digestive problems. Obviously, it's in the name. So if you're just having like a tummy ache or something, you can take this and rub it on your tummy, rub it on your abdomen, even take it internally, maybe drop it in some water, and it will get rid of some stomach upsets. It also is good for like the bloating and gassy feeling that you may feel after eating certain kinds of foods. That happens. So Digestin is really good at that. And I sometimes will even just take it again, turn it over, swipe it down my tongue, and move on. Keep moving. So, because it doesn't taste, I mean, entirely great, but it's manageable. And then that, going with stomach problems and stomach issues, On Guard. On Guard is the protective blend, and that is one that has cinnamon in it, so it's kind of got a cinnamony taste. I just made that word up, cinnamony. But it is good for germs. Like, this is the germ kill, the germ free thing that you want. I use this in I make some homemade soap with just some water and lemon or water and lavender and the On Guard with maybe a couple drops of just regular hand soap. And then I mix it up, and I have it at school in a water bottle by the sink, and the kids will use it. I also then take that and spray it down over a paper towel and wipe it down my tables with it, because the On Guard helps get rid of those germs and keeps you from getting germs up to like so many days. I'm pretty sure. I'm being told 6. 6 days. It germ free. So, and it smells great. Like, it smells very fresh. I every time I have wiped down my tables right after school and somebody's come in, they've always, man, it smells great in here. That's the On Guard. And it's a protective blend. So recently, as I'm getting more into the emotional side of the oils, it is good for those protective feelings that you may need if you're feeling threatened, if you're feeling almost kind of like the victim, I guess, sometimes, that we tend to feel like if people are being mean, bullying, things like that. So I diffuse this in the classroom a lot too, to kind of purify the air. It goes in my cleaners at home as well, that I'm cleaning the bathrooms with, in the kitchen and things like that. So yes, those are the top 10. The frankincense, the lemon, the lavender, melaleuca, oregano, peppermint, doTERRA, breathe, Deep Blue, the Digestin, and then the On Guard. And I kind of explained how I use them in an everyday life scenario. There are multiple others to use for various reasons. I plan to do another webinar next week, same time, over emotions, the emotion sides of it. Because again, I got more into it, started into it with my knee and running and breathing better, because I apparently wasn't breathing well enough while I was running. So I started using them for that reason. And then kind of started to see the effects that the other oils that I bought just as a side thing, like the peace oil. I needed some peace in my life, and so I bought the peace oil just to try it out, and saw a difference in moods, and saw a difference in just like my mental clarity and things like that. So I started to get more into the emotion side of how the oils help emotionally, and I'll talk more about that next week. So yeah, at that, let me think if anybody has any questions, they can go ahead and type in any questions that they may have. I will be doing also like kind of like a chit chat type of thing, chit chat and coffee thing next week. And I think I can share my screen with you and show you, hold on, desktop. Can you see my screen? Aha, look at you. Okay, so yeah, coffee and conversation next Wednesdays, the next 2 Wednesdays, the 21st and the 28th, not tomorrow, but the next 2 Wednesdays. And then I also put my blog down there. I kind of started a blog just for journaling for myself and how I use oils, how I use the readings that I read. It's a kind of like a plethora of things about emotions, about the brain, about just life in my life that is a hot mess at times, like everyone else's maybe. So with that, if you have any questions or need to contact me, there's another, I do have a link. Hold on. Unshare. How do I unshare? Pause share? Stop share. There we go. I love it. I'm new. Can you tell? So yes, I can chat you a form if you want to meet me or talk to me, or how do I chat to all 5? To everyone. Type message here. I talk to myself as well. There we go. There's a Google form that you can click on, and if you want to talk more or get more information, let me know and I'll talk to you. And thanks for coming. Thanks.
You did great.